China's footprint in Africa is massive. New roads, railways, skyscrapers, ports, all rising from projects funded by Beijing. But behind the glossy headlines of development lies a question the world keeps asking. Is China helping Africa? Or quietly colonizing it? Welcome to the Fact Order, where we dig beneath the headlines to uncover the truth. In the early 2000s, China launched a bold new policy, the Go Out strategy. Its goal? Expand Chinese influence, secure natural resources, and open new markets. Africa, rich in minerals and hungry for infrastructure, became the perfect partner. Today, China is Africa's largest trading partner, with trade exceeding $250 billion annually. Over 10,000 Chinese companies now operate across the continent. China has built the Mombasa-Nairobi Railway in Kenya, the African Union headquarters in Ethiopia, and dozens of roads, power plants, and hospitals from Angola to Zambia. Beijing calls it a win-win partnership. Africa gets infrastructure. China gets business opportunities and resources. Sounds fair, right? Well, not everyone agrees. Critics warn of something more sinister, what they call debt trap diplomacy. Here's how it allegedly works. China lends huge sums for infrastructure projects. If a country can't repay, China gains leverage, sometimes even control over strategic assets. For example, in 2018, Zambia was rumored to risk losing its national electricity company to China over unpaid loans, though both sides denied it. And in Djibouti, China built its first overseas military base, right next to a Chinese-funded port. To some, this isn't just trade, it's influence, economic chains instead of colonial chains. But is that the whole story? Many African leaders reject the debt trap narrative. They argue that Western lenders ignored Africa for decades, while China showed up, ready to build. Unlike the old colonial powers, China doesn't demand political reforms or lectures on democracy. For many nations, that's refreshing. Projects like Ethiopia's new Addis-Djibouti Railway or Nigeria's Lekki deep-sea port have boosted local economies and created thousands of jobs. Yes, loans must be repaid, but African governments say these investments lay the foundation for long-term growth. As one African minister put it, China is not colonizing us. They're doing business. We just have to do it smartly. Make no mistake, China gains plenty. Africa supplies China with oil, copper, cobalt, and rare minerals essential for its industries. In return, Chinese companies secure contracts, access, and influence. This is also part of China's massive Belt and Road Initiative, a global infrastructure plan linking Asia, Africa, and Europe. By funding African projects, China builds strategic alliances and goodwill across the developing world. It's not a military empire like Britain's or France's once were. It's an economic empire, powered by loans, trade, and diplomacy. The truth? It's not black and white. Yes, some African nations are deep in debt to China. Yes, corruption and poor deal terms exist. But it's also true that China has built infrastructure the West never funded. For many Africans, the roads, ports, and power plants are not symbols of colonization. They're progress. So the real question may not be, is China colonizing Africa? But rather, are African nations negotiating wisely? China's presence in Africa is changing the continent, and the global balance of power. Whether it becomes a partnership of equals or a new form of dependence will depend on how both sides play the game. What do you think? Is China Africa's partner in progress, or a new kind of empire in disguise? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. This is the Fact Order, where history, geopolitics, and truth meet. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the stories shaping our world.